Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapBookingWithMe.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. Today we are participating in a collaboration with Rachel and Bella Crafts, and this is the Junk Journal Tips, Tricks, and Hacks of 2023. Rachel and Bella have been doing this for a couple of years now, I think, and they invited me this year, so I am humbled and grateful that they did so. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of the videos thus far this month. Today, February 15th, is my turn, and my JJ Tips, Tricks, Hacks 23, that's the hashtag we're using, is ways to use book pages in your junk journals. And I have come up with, along with help from other YouTubers and inspiration from other YouTubers, of course, 20 different ways for you to use book pages in your junk journals. So, without further ado, let's get going. Alright, so I have the very first one. Now I've got some examples of some of these 20 laid out, and then we're going to make some together. This first one is a standard pocket. Everybody probably already knows how this is taken care of, so let's go over this really quickly. A standard pocket, if you want to make it in your junk journal. If your junk journal is this wide, probably not. So what I'm going to do is trim off my edges, and for anybody that is here a lot at Me Crafty Scrapper, you know that I don't toss these. I make little labels out of them, I stamp on them, I stitch down them, use them as a page border. I do not throw away my page edges, that's for sure. So I'm going to trim this one down just by tearing it. And then I'll save those pieces for later. And then you're just going to fold up and make your standard pocket. Ink around the edges, whatever. If you are one that cannot stand for print to be upside down, easiest way to fix that is to find you a little cut spot, like so, and then just glue it on the three sides, and you've got your pocket. And once you ink that top piece and then ink all the way around, it'll be very easy to see that that's a pocket. And then of course you can use your circle punch and make yourself a little doolally like that, and then ink up and see how easy that was. So that's just a standard little pocket that you can make in your junk journals. You can use this on the page and actually make a double pocket, and that is my number 2 way of using book pages in your junk journals. You can put this in your junk journal on the page just like this, glue all that down, and just have this standard pocket. Easy peasy. Or you can make a double pocket. I can make a thumb hold there, ink that top, okay, and then I can glue down on 3 sides on this back side, glue down the 3 sides here, have a pocket here and a pocket here in my journal. So let me get this little idea signature that I've been putting some stuff in. So if I put it in my journal like this, and then I'm just going to glue down these 3 sides, pop that in, glue down these 3 sides, and pop that in, and then do whatever kind of decoration that you want to on there. So that's the second way of using it. First and second, standard pocket and then a double pocket. Then you have what I have, done videos on and talked about before, and that is a book page pocket with a vellum front. These are so fun to make. Alright, so I've got some scrap vellum here, and then I'm going to get a book page. These are so fun, and one of my most popular videos on my channel is when I made these for a M Scrapbusters. We have M Scrapbuster videos, a challenge video every week here on my channel. Usually on Thursdays is when I post those. And I'm going to make this about 3.5 inches wide. Anyway, I made that as a, just had some scrapbook pages. And it was so fun, and I think everybody else thought it was fun too, because like I said, it's a very popular video. Alright, and the easiest way to use your vellum as a see-through pocket on the front is you just kind of put it where you want it. So I think I might want the book page to come up just a little bit taller than my vellum. So I'm going to go here and rip and use this in scraps. Put that over in my scrap bowl. And then if you want to do something fun and creative to the top of the pocket, you can. So I'll just rip that vellum like that, and then I'm going to ink the top of it so I can see it really well. And then what I'm going to do is fold up. This is one of my more brittle book pages, so this would be perfect for a pocket. Maybe you've got some brittle book pages that would never stand up to being made into a page in your journal. So this is an easy way to use those. So you're just going to fold over to the edge of your vellum, just like that. Now you can pull back these and tear them, or you can make this a little more shallow so you see that a little better. I think I am going to do a little torn edge on these so they're not so far pulled over. Let's see if I can see. Look how brittle it is. It's just falling apart. So let's just tear it ourselves. Just like that. Okay. And then other side. And see, then you're just going to flip it over onto that vellum. And so you see a little bit more of it that way. Now let's do this side. And tear that down. And then what you're going to do, I could do it down here too and just give it all that torn look. You don't have to tear yours if you don't want to. I'm just a lover of the torn edge. Okay, and then kind of ink up a little bit. But like I said, if you're working with some really vintage, kind of torn, brittle book pages, you might not want to do that too much. But just be gentle. Ink around the edges like so, and then get your glue. Glue the bottom on, and then I'm just going to glue up to the top of where my vellum is on the sides. Okay, and fold over, and then same thing on this side, and fold over. And you can do all sorts of little pulls or whatever if you want to up here, up top. So then, like a really big butterfly die cut or something right there on the edge, whatever you would want to do. Great little pocket, and it uses up some of your more brittle book pages. I love that. And you could decorate these up so many different ways. Cute, cute, cute. So that is the third way to use book pages in your junk journals, is to put a vellum front on it and have a little vellum front pocket. All right, fourth way to use book pages in your junk journals is if you have like a really plain page. Just say you have this page and you don't want to leave that whole page just for junk journaling or journaling in general. I'll get it out in a minute. Then you can make a full page pocket. And I'm just going to tear off a little bit off the edge here and then line it up. And I can do just a little bit more off of this edge. Okay, and then, if I can get my ruler put up, this is a really good example of a book page that can be used as, you know, a full page stacked pocket. So you can line that up like that, go ahead and glue that on, and then pull from your other book pages that you have in your stash. So I have some really brittle stuff, cut it down, and you can add that on as a pocket there, and then add another piece on as a pocket there, and go all the way down as much, you know, as many pockets as you would like to add on. So maybe 3. Let's do that one. Let's go ahead and we can just rip one in half. And then I'm going to use my scissors because this is so brittle I don't want to use my tear guide ruler because it would just tear it all up. But I'm getting me a lot more little pieces off the edge to use in my sewing machine. Alright, and then I'm going to look and see. Alright, so I need to cut it about right there. You can also use your paper trimmer. You don't have to cut by hand like I'm doing. Okay, and then you would line that one up like that. Ink the top of it so you can see it really well. Okay, like so. And then you're going to do this page the exact same way. I love these that have some really good subject matter to them. And then line up like this, figure out where you need to cut this, like so. And it doesn't matter to me, it never has mattered to me if I cut them straight or not. If I've got the scissors in my hand, they're definitely not going to be cut straight. Okay, so line up like that and then like that. So here's your first pocket, second pocket, because you're just gluing on the 3 sides, not the top. And then cut this one down. And you would have your third pocket. Tear it too. It's just a great way to have a full page stacked book page. So I love that. That's a great way. Alright, that was number 4. How about a crossover pocket? Now, some people call these tuxedo style pockets. Whatever you call them, they're stinking cute. So again, I'm just going to get my tear ruler, tear that off, and then I'm going to tear at a diagonal for the part that I took off the bottom. Sometimes this can be a little tricky with a tear ruler. You might want to just do it with your scissors. Okay? So then, do a little bit of, there we go. You can cross over that way. And then, yes, I don't really know how you could do it upwards on the other side unless you just used another whole piece of paper. And this is the easiest way I have ever found to do a crossover pocket or a tuxedo style pocket. There are folding origami methods, but I'm all about let's do it the easiest way possible. Okay, so I would put one of those diagonals this way, I would put the other one this way, make sure that I am inking up really heavily on these, especially the one that is upside down. And if that drives you absolutely insane, like a lot of my friends that YouTube, it does. It drives them insane when the words are upside down. It doesn't matter to me, but so you're going to ink, and then you're going to come this way and that way, and then you're going to trim off what you don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on either side. I know y'all have seen most all of these ideas, but I wanted to put them all together. And you know, when you're getting 20 ideas, that's always a great thing. I'm going to put the one that's going to be upside down, I'm putting it toward the back. Okay, and then I'm going to come across here again with a little more glue for our crossover piece here. And then just figure out how far over we're going to go, like that. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my sticky scissors because this has got glue on it. I don't want to use my nice scissors. And I'm going to trim off all of my excess, and this is just a really, really easy way to get that crossover tuxedo style pocket done without having to remember how to fold it like origami craft. Okay, so there is your crossover pocket, ink all the way around all of the edges like so. You can use any kind of adhesive you would like. If you don't like how liquid glue looks behind a book page, sometimes it can wrinkle it up. Okay, so there's your little crossover pocket, and you could even chomp out the top here. Oh, look at there, it's wanting to tear, yay. Like that. Ink up the back, and then make this a double pocket also. So you would have a pocket there, and then you would glue on 3 sides on the back, and have a pocket here, and a pocket here, and then you have a little tuck space here also. So there's your little crossover or tuxedo style pocket. Okay, envelopes. Easy, easy way to make an envelope to put into your journal that you can put little pieces of ephemera or little secret journaling or whatever. So envelopes is our 6th way of using book pages. And you're just going to fold up, and then you're going to fold down, and don't fold, you know, too far down, like so, and make sure that your fold is even. That's always a really good thing. You make sure your fold is even, and that your page is cut correctly. So mine is not even cut straight, so that's why it looks all wonky. There we go. You can see that top fold's not folded right, but anyway. Then you can, you know, dress up the top flap of your envelope however you would like. Make kind of like tag corners if you want to. I'm going to try to fix this so it's not so wonky, but you get the idea. So there is a pocket you would glue down. Let me see if this needs some more trimming, and it does. You would glue down this bottom flap. You could even do a little pull in there. Glue, let's ink first before we glue, Melina. Here we go. And then you're going to glue this flap down. Just on two sides. Don't even have to do it on the bottom. Fold up. Ink around the edges. And then you can make these as narrow as you want. Any size you want, really. That wording on the bottom, yes, is upside down. So if you... And then the top is also. So if you need to fix that for your brain, that's fine. But like I said, I don't care. I never have cared about that kind of stuff, but I know that there are some that just can't handle it. And that's okay too. So there is a very, very, very easy pocket. I'm going to glue just a little bit more here. But an envelope pocket to add to your journal. Let me get that little idea journal. And you would glue that down, decorate however you wanted to, ink really, really heavy if you wanted to, and then open that up and you've got a little envelope pocket for your journal pages. So that is number 6. Number 7 is a side tuck pocket. So you've got this little idea journal. Let's get to this page here. All I would do to make a tuck is fold, and then I would cut it down to size to make sure that it's the same size as this page. So I need to cut off about, let's cut the bottom, yay much. I'm just going to tear it just quickly for you. Here is that, just like that. You're going to glue at the top and you're going to glue at the bottom. And then same thing for this side, glue at the top, glue at the bottom, and you've got a tuck, a double fold over tuck spot just out of book page. Of course, this one is entirely too brittle, so I wouldn't use one like this, but I've got smaller book pages that would work really well as side tucks like that. So very, very simple elementary idea there. Side tuck pocket, and you can even fold it over and do a double fold over side tuck pocket. So that's number 7. Number 8 is a full page with a secretarial pocket on the front. Now, I saw this for the very first time on Miss Gail Agostinelli on her channel. I don't pronounce people's names correctly, so forgive me. When she was making an altered book junk journal. And what she did was, if you have one page and then you have another book page same size, you can fold down one corner of that top page, fold it over onto your other pages you have. So 2 loose book pages. And you're folding one down. And you can even fold it front ways to give a little extra something to that front. You could even leave some of this open and have a little bottom tuck right here. But you would glue down this flap here, and you would have a full page pocket, and it's got this secretarial pocket on the front. So this is one of your loose pages, this is your other loose page, and you're just going to glue this one on 3 sides, and then you would glue this to your page or however you wanted to do it in your journal. And then there's you a secretarial pocket or a triangle pocket page out of book page for your journals. So thank you, Miss Gail, for that. Like I said, that was the very first time I'd ever seen that was on her channel when she was altering a book and making a book page pocket. And it was so cute and so simple. I thought, how in the world had I not ever thought of that? So thank you, Miss Gail. I love all the YouTubers, all the influencers, because they give so much inspiration and so many ideas. So that was number 8, full page book page pocket with a secretarial pocket on the front. So there's that one. Okay, and then I already have an example of this one, I do believe, a wrap around the page pocket. So kind of like our tuck, our side tuck pocket. This idea came from Corey Dahman. She has the greatest scrap busting channel. She is Creating with Scraps, Corey Dahman, and I got this idea from her. So it's a wrap around the page pocket. So all I did was fold up, and I did a double fold up so that my wording stayed upright. See that? So there's another way. Let me get you another book page and show you how I did this. Very easy. You can glue it onto your page, or you can just put it in with a clip like I did that one. So let's tear out a page. Okay, so here's our page, and we want to fold it up to make a pocket like this one, but we want our words to be the same way, so upright, just like these. So you're gonna fold up like this, okay, and then I would trim off this part just because I don't want all of that excess to bulk up my journal. So I'm going to take this off. That goes in my scrap pile. Okay, so there are my words straight up and down, just like on this one. Okay, and then I would just glue here, and I would glue this flap down so it stays in place. And then you're going to fold it in half like this, and you have a wraparound pocket. So you're going to wrap that around, and you can glue it on and have a little tuck space here, a little tuck space there, same thing on that side. Or you can just do like I did here and clip it in. So I'm going to put that on there, clip it, and now I have a pocket here and a pocket here out of one book page, and just ink around all of it. Thank you, Miss Corey, for that awesome tutorial. She has the best scrapbusting videos on her channel. So that is number 9, the wrap around the page pocket. Number 10, I don't have an example of that one, and we're going to make one really quickly, hopefully really quickly. We're going to use some of that very, very, very brittle book page. I'm going to get a full one here. And I want all of this to kind of be on my tag. So I just have this little digital here, and I want to leave that as is, but I want to cover up the back side. So I might make the back side my front. But all I'm going to do is put some glue down on a tag shape. So if you've got a lot of plain cardstock that could have great potential of being beautiful tags, then just cut that cardstock in tag shape, and then glue on book page to the back. And then I'm just going to trim this out all the way around. So there is the back, there is the front. I'll get my hole punch and punch that out. And you could also make tags from book page by just folding over the book page. You don't have to have any cardstock. Just use that one piece of book page and fold it in half like this. And then trim off any edges that you don't like. Like that, if my trimmer doesn't eat it completely up. Okay. And then you can trim off, glue that together, trim off the top, just like regular old tag corners. Okay, and then you would just glue that together. Ooh, my tag corners look pitiful. Let's go a little deeper that way. Let's go a little deeper that way. That looks better. And you could put your hole there and then decorate how you wanted to and make a tag out of one piece of book page, and you wouldn't need any cardstock whatsoever. But I really do think that this way is a really good way to use up that cardstock that you may have in your stash and you never ever use. So here's a great way to use that up. Cardstock on the front, book page on the back. I love that. And then the fold over tag book page too. And so that is number 10 way. And here is another variation of using book page as a tag. So I had that tag and I folded over that tag, but this one is just a rectangle piece of cardstock with a piece of scrap book page on the middle of it, and then I stamped on it in black ink, just this little fern looking botanical stamp, and just stamped on the book page, and then put the book page on this rectangle piece, put on a little word phrase and a tab at the top, and it is a ready-made tag to go in a pocket in your journal. I love stamping silhouette onto book pages. That and stenciling on book pages are two of my favorite things to do on them. Number 11. A journaling card with tea stain paper on the back, or coffee dyed paper on the back, or even cardstock on the back. So here is some old cardstock. I think it was from Stamp It Up that I had in my stash forever and a day. And I decided I wanted to do something else on this, but still have the back where I could journal on. So there is the journaling part of my journal card. And on the front, I just collaged a bunch of different book pages and then added a few little die cuts, and that's just some marks. It's not even stamping. That's just some pen marks, marker marks that I put on there, and a little butterfly die cut, and then a tag, and some stamping, and there is you a easy peasy journaling card with book pages on the front, just collaged book pages on the front. So that's number 11. Number 12 is book pages as the center of your journal signature, and I know that y'all have seen this before. Easy way to use up book page. So you can put your book pages in your signature sideways like I did here and make little mini pages. Or you can add them in like this and put in washi tape on both edges to seal them together, or this, I had a little craft piece of cardstock and I just put the book pages together, lined them up, and put a piece of craft cardstock and glued it on. So that way I've got two book pages in this really big jumbo scrapbook journal that I made. So that's an easy way to put your book pages up and down in your journal instead of sideways like most people have to do because their journals are not tall. But you could trim off the bottoms of the book pages. You could flip them up and make the pockets, and so that way you have a up and down, readable book page in your journal, and then you have a pocket on the bottom too, so you can flip the bottoms up. That is a great way to use book pages, and my favorite way is putting the book page in the center of my signature like that. I love that. 13 was also about putting washi tape in the middle of a book page and holding it together and adding it to your journal that way. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I have two book pages, so these are little mini book pages. No, it's really one that I cut in half. I have two book pages and I want them to be side by side or in my journal somehow, but upright like this, so that I could actually read them if I wanted to. So all I'm going to do is put my book pages together just like that. And you can either use a piece of cardstock like I did in that other one, or get a cute piece of washi tape, stick it on one side, and then go ahead and stick it on the other side too. This washi tape has snails on it. How cute is that? Okay, and then you have made a book page. Now this is the brittle stuff, so no judgment here, y'all. You have made a book page or a leaflet of a book to put into your journal and make little mini pages. Alright, another way to use book pages, this is number 14, if anybody is keeping up with the number. I'm going to cut this really brittle book page, and I've just folded it in half. I'm going to use my tab punch. I think that still might be a little too tall. Let's cut off a little more of it. And I'm going to put this down into my tab punch. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top so I can actually see that. And this blade on top is not going to cut my book page because I can see a space. And I'm going to punch out and make tabs with my book pages. So you would ink around the edges, and you would put glue on the inside, and then attach this to your journal page on the edge to have a little tab. And this journal is pretty much through as far as the decorating, but it could certainly use a book page tab or two in there. So that's a great way to use book pages, and you don't even need a tab punch to make tabs. You can just cut rectangular folded over pieces of book page and make your own handmade tabs, and even sew them on to your page. Cute, cute, cute way of just a tiny little way of using book pages in your journals. If you've got little pieces of book pages, don't throw them away. Keep them in your scrap pile, in your little scrap bowl, and you can make clusters out of them. So this is a little ticket with an oval punched piece of book page in the middle. Here is a label with a book page in the middle. You could put a word phrase or another die cut or something on there. Use that as a label in your journals. You can make faux stamps with the book pages and just put a little die cut stamp on it. You've got a postage stamp to use as decoration in your journals, or make it a pretty elaborate cluster and put all kinds of scrap pieces with it, and then cut out a heart or some kind of shape, a star, whatever, for the middle that is all just book page, and then decorate that up. So I love using book pages in my clusters, and I love using my little pieces that I have left over from, you know, what I've used a book page for in my clusters. So that is number 15. 15 ways to use book pages in our journals, and we've got 5 more to go. How about a belly band? The easiest way I have ever found to use a book page as a belly band is to fold it in half. So I want to trim off to make this the size of my journal page. So let's get a journal over here. I might have trimmed off too much, didn't I? I did. This is a big journal too, though, so I have this little idea signature, and I have this small little notebook page here. So I could put this, which I would want it to be a little thinner. I have just folded over this book page, and I'm going to trim it with scissors. Of course, you would probably want to trim it with a trimmer so it would be straight. But I have just folded it over, and I like this side a little better. Or you could cut 2 pieces, just like this is about to become 2 pieces because it is so fragile. And then I'm going to glue this together. Not really caring how the glue looks and clumps up and everything else. I'm good. Okay. And then you could put some eyelets in it. If you put an eyelet here, then you could have a charm hanging off of it, and that would be hanging out of the top of your journal. And then you would ink around the edges and just glue at the top and the bottom. And then you would have a belly band that you could put whatever you would like back behind. So that is a great way and an easy way to use book pages. Just fold it over, make it as slender as you would like, and use it as a belly band in your journals. That was number 16. Number 17, a mini folio. So it's going to be like a little book, kind of like our wraparound pockets that I showed you earlier. But let me show you. You could just put these down into pockets in your journals. So let's take out the book page. And you're going to have to turn the book page sideways. So if that messes with your brain, just, I'm sorry. So these are little mini ways of putting book page in your journals. And then you could fold over like this, so the pocket is going to be on the inside instead of the outside, like that wraparound pocket was. Number 17, a mini folio, and you could cut this ever how you wanted to, but I love it just like this, and have these glued down on the edges. You have a pocket here, a pocket there, and it's a little booklet. You could even put you a little closure on the outside if you wanted to. Just, I mean, very simple, elementary again, but you've got a pocket here and a pocket there. You could put a pocket on the outside. You could put a pocket on the back side, outside. However you wanted to do that little folio, and then this could go just in a pocket in your journal, like, let's find a pocket in here, just stuck down in your pocket. Pull it out, people think, oh, it's just a book page. You open it up, oh, she has pockets in here. It's a little folio. And like I said, if you add another page to the outside, you could make a double folio. So let's just do that too. While we're at it, another book page out, and then I'm going to fold up the same height as I did on this one. So just like that. And then you would fold this one the opposite way. Put it on like this, and so you've got pocket on the outside, pocket on the inside, another pocket on the inside, pocket on the outside, and you could just glue these two sheets sides and bottom and have an open tuck space here and an open tuck space here. So make little folios with your book pages and add them to the pockets of your journal. So easy peasy little mini folio. And I think that idea also came from Miss Corey Dahman. She has some really great book page ideas over on her channel. So I first saw this idea on Mom's channel, and for anybody that doesn't know, it's just here for the tips, tricks, and hacks collaboration. You might not know, my mom is E from Scrapbooking with Me on Facebook and on YouTube, and I first saw this idea over on her channel, but she got the idea from Roxy over at Roxy's weekly challenge. So she made a pocket, which she made hers a little bit deeper, but I've got a little bitty signature here. And then she just cut up a piece like that, and then fold it where the cut is, and fold it the correct way, just like that. And so then you have a long pocket just on the edge. So you would glue here and have yourself a little pocket right there. So it's a long pocket, and then it folds over onto this back side like this, and you could make a tuck on the back. So you could have a long pocket here and then a tuck on the back here. So just another little variation of that wraparound tuck space that we did earlier. So that is number 18. Number 19 and number 20 are a little more involved, so I've left them for the very end. But here is a way. Let's do a piece of copy paper, okay? And then we're going to put our book page on front of the piece of copy paper, okay? And we're going to use some washi tape. Turn the washi over on itself so the sticky is on the outside. I'm going to put it on this side. And just do this a couple of times, especially around the edges. Alright, and then I'm going to tape it down onto my copy paper. I'm going to pull up a digital that I have already downloaded, and I'm going to put this into my printer, and I'm going to print a digital onto book page. And here is the finished product. Let's carefully pull up. Doesn't matter if you tear the copy paper. We're just wanting to make sure not to tear the book page. Okay, so pull up on your washi tape, making sure to pull up on it and not your book page itself, so that maybe, just maybe, you can keep it from tearing. Okay, and then there is the finished product, printed book page, and that was a freebie actually that's on our blog at scrapbookingwithme.com. You can look in the left hand column, and that is a freebie, free digital from Miss Betty Ann Renfro. I will try my best to get the direct link to it, but That's a beautiful way of using book pages in your journal, is to print on them. How pretty is that? Now, that was number 19. Number 20, kind of the same idea, but we're making a master board with book pages. Okay, so just a regular sheet of copy paper, and then we're going to get all sorts of book pages, and we're going to go all different directions, so you don't have to worry about the same kind of text or anything like that. Just go in different directions like this, and then different size pieces, however you want to, and you're going to cover the entire piece of copy paper. And you can use Mod Podge, you can use gesso, you can just use some liquid glue, whatever you would like to do. But I'm going to go ahead and cover this, and I'm going to use some clear gesso. That is what I use, and then I have it all covered up. That whole piece of copy paper is covered, and now I just need to let it dry or dry it with a heat tool. And once it's almost dry, from here the possibilities are endless. First off, I'm going to use my sticky scissors. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to trim off all of the excess, you know, what's laid over the sides of this copy paper, so that I have me a perfect little rectangle. Okay, so from here you can ink it. You can splatter it. You can stamp it. You can put more paper on top. You can collage it more. You can put pattern papers in different places if you wanted to break up the book page. Or you can, and one of my favorite things to do on book page is stencil on it. So I have the Victorian ceiling stencil from our shop, scrapbookingwithme.com, and I have my walnut stain ink, and I'm just going to find a spot that maybe doesn't have a lot of splatter on it and is a little, I don't know, plain. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to get a lot of ink on my mini blender, and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Just tap, tap, tap. If you want a darker look, you're going to rub. Rub, 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 tap, tap, tap. Whatever you would like for it to look like. And see, that is one of my absolute favorite ways to use a stencil, is to stencil on book page. So I think I'll just do another little spot here in the middle, kind of rub, 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 and tap, tap, tap. Cute. And then after you get done, you know, decorating and covering up any of it that you want to, then you can cut it into all kinds of shapes, or you can use this as your journal cover. You don't even have to cut it apart at all. You can just fold it in half, and you've got a built-in, already made journal cover. You just need to cover the inside with whatever you want to. And then if you wanted to cut out shapes, so that's how I did this heart shape on this cluster, is I cut a bunch of hearts and I just traced them on the back and then cut them out, and I made myself some collaged hearts for clusters. So a master board just of your little bits and pieces of book pages is a great way to use book pages in your journals or as your journal cover. So that is the 20 ways that I use book pages in my journals. So I hope that this video has been informative. I hope you have learned something that you can do with a book page that you didn't know you could before. That is my favorite thing to do, is to be a teacher of paper crafting. And when I get those comments of, I had never thought of X, Y, and Z before, and thank you so much for showing that to us, that's like my favorite comments ever. So there's my little tab, there's some tags, a cluster, another little ticket cluster, my V cut or crossover or tuxedo pocket, there's the vellum front pocket, there's the little faux stamp, there's the journaling card, and here is the envelope and the printed book page there. I guess I can put my scissors down since I'm not using them right now. The long tuck wraparound, just from folding it together, or folding it over on itself. And then you've got your book pages put in as mini pages in your journals. And then here it is as in the middle of your signature, like that. The wraparound pockets, and then all of the other just fold up pockets and all of that. It can't all fit in one picture, but I'm so glad that you stuck around and watched all 20 ways that I thought of and was inspired from other YouTubers of how to use book pages in our journals. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and make sure I've got a playlist, and I will link that in the description box below. And at the end of this video, it is a playlist for the Junk Journal Tips, Tricks, and Hacks by Rachel and Bella Crafts, hosted by them, and it is a huge collaboration. I'm number 15, and I can't wait for you to see all the rest, and I have a playlist of all of them. Thanks so much for watching. God bless. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.